Have you ever wondered if you're bad at time management? Well, check this video out. And I'm going to ask you a couple questions to help kind of clarify this for you. So the first question is, do you ever feel tired and then you realize, hey, it's only Tuesday? That's a sign. Have you ever wanted to accomplish several things on your to-do list and then realize all of a sudden that there are not enough hours in the day to get them done? That is another clear sign. And so the whole idea behind being effective at time management is understanding what it is you need to focus on. And I have this quote for you that I wanted to share, and it's from Coaching Positive. And it says, quote, "A skilled manager gets the right tasks done. Anything else is just poor time management." So obviously the objective is to have focus and resulting in effective productivity, effective time management. And so that is really the goal. And so there are some 5 signs that I kind of came up with through some research and my own personal experience that I thought would help you. Hey, I'm Dr. Heather Williamson with the Transformation Group, and welcome back to the channel. So if you know somebody else that is really bad at managing their time, then you might want to share this video with them to help them identify what it is that they are struggling with. And then they can kind of move forward and be able to actually figure out how to correct that. And I had recently did a video on how to say no without being a jerk, which is one of my examples here. And that actually will help as well. So check that video out and it will be enlightening, I promise. All right, so the 5 examples of or signs that are telling you that you are really bad at time management. The first one is that you are constantly rushing around. So if you are feeling and looking like you're frantic, then that is a sign that you are not all together. You are not really great at managing your time because you are not getting done what you want to get done. And so basically it's allocating time appropriately. So if you are feeling rushed and frantic, then you need to allocate more time to focus on things that are going to take longer. And sometimes you just need to overestimate, because sometimes we have a tendency to go, that task is only going to take me 15 minutes. And then 30 minutes later, you're still working on it. So make sure that you're really honest with yourself and allot the actual time, and maybe give yourself a cushion so you are not feeling frantic and wanting to pull your hair out. All right, now the second sign that you are bad at time management is that you are consistently late. So I cannot remember who said this, but it has resonated with me forever. And that is, if you are on time, then you are late. And so for me, I have always been early, and that is something that has always been very important to me. Whether it's 10 or 15 minutes early, I'm always early. So if you are late, returning email messages, if you're late returning phone calls, or if you're late just in attendance to a meeting, that's a sign that you are not allocating your time properly and you're bad at time management. So when it comes to being consistently late, I jokingly say this with a couple of my friends who are always late. And I always just say, you know what, that is Amanda time or that is Robin time, because it just is what it is. And if you know someone is going to be late consistently and they have to attend a meeting or a phone call, you might want to tell them it's going to be earlier than it is, by 15 minutes or half an hour, depending on if it's travel time or not. But also keep in mind, when I talk about travel time, make sure that you have actually allocated enough time for travel to that meeting. Make sure you account for traffic. Something may pop up that you're not anticipating, and then you're late. So make sure that you give yourself a cushion, you overestimate, and you account for drive time. All right, now the third sign that you are bad at time management is that you procrastinate. So when you procrastinate, typically it's because the task is overwhelming, it's large, you don't know where to start, and so you just don't do it. And then you keep saying, oh, well, I'll just tackle that tomorrow. And it's funny because my son is starting to do that, and I'm starting to work on him to be able to not procrastinate. I'm like, let's get it done now. You're going to feel so much better once it's done. So getting in that mindset of let's just see what it takes to tackle it, breaking it up into smaller chunks and pieces helps a whole lot, because if you're looking at the whole big picture, yeah, it can be overwhelming. So when it comes to procrastination, don't get stressed, because that doesn't help either. Just take it one step at a time, one piece or one chunk at a time, and start tackling it. All right. Now, the fourth sign that you are bad at time management is you are a perfectionist. So, I am not a perfectionist. Thank goodness. I mean, I am somewhat, but not to the degree that a lot of my former clients are, or clients and just friends of mine. So when it comes to being a perfectionist, you just have that feeling that you don't want to let things go until it is perfect. And the problem with that is this, and I'm going to give you an example. So I was sitting on a board a couple years ago, and one of the other board members was responsible, like we all were, at that board meeting, to provide status updates on where we are on our assignments. And this lady never actually implemented anything. She was always planning. So it was consistently, well, I'm working on this, or, I have a plan tomorrow to reach out to X person. And what happens was it never got implemented. We never saw results, because she was always in the planning mode, because she never felt like she could move beyond that. Also, if you're a perfectionist, you don't move forward, because in your mind that each little aspect has to be perfect before you can take that next step. Now, I'm going to give you an example from me personally, and that is this YouTube channel. So I will tell you, being honest, when I first, my friends said, hey, Heather, you need to go do this YouTube channel. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I know nothing about YouTube. I've watched a couple of videos here and there, but that's it. I had no idea what it took to set up a YouTube channel, what it took to create content, what it took to edit it and then upload it and make sure all that's perfect. It was a lot. And I remember setting myself a date of September 1st of 2020 to start this channel. And I was going to honor that date, that goal that I had set for myself. And I did. First video is September 1st. And it's my welcome video. Go back and check it out. And the key about this is that I knew I wasn't perfect. And I had watched plenty of videos on how to start YouTube that told me the first 100 videos were going to be horrible, but to get over it, because you're always going to improve. And that is the honest truth, because when it comes to starting something, sometimes just starting it and getting it there is half the battle. And so for me, getting this YouTube channel started with, my mentor, we have gotten together periodically, and I have tweaked things to improve subscribers and views. I've done this to help, and it has been a work in progress. So that's part of, overcoming that feeling of perfectionism. It's not always going to be perfect, but you got to start somewhere, and then you can tweak. So keep that in mind when it comes to you feeling like you've got to be perfect, because it will always be a challenge, and you're probably always going to struggle with not moving forward and being stuck. All right. So, and then the fifth and final sign that you are bad at time management is if you are a yes person. So, yes people are always going to say yes, really to the detriment of their own personally getting things accomplished. And when it comes to being a yes person, and I used to be a yes person as well, because I always wanted to help. I mean, that has always been my feeling, my motive is really to help others, which is why I do these videos. And you know, the goal is really to help you as a boss become better at being that boss, so your employees are happy with you. And when it comes to saying yes, I have come to realize that I say yes to things that are going to help me achieve what I want to achieve, and that are going to help me grow professionally and personally. So if you are saying yes, I want you to think about the impact of that yes response. Is it going to help you get to where you want to be? Is it going to help you accomplish your task better? If it's not, if it's a distraction, if it's not part of that vision, then saying yes is just that added extra burden that's being put on you that is not going to help. So that's when I was talking earlier about, you know, how to say no without being a jerk. Here's a great idea on how to respond to that. So check out an earlier video on that. And it's was not long ago that I did it. So anyway, just to recap, the 5 signs that you may figure out or wonder if you are bad at time management are: 1, that you're rushing around; 2, that you're constantly late; 3 is that you procrastinate; and 4, that you are perfectionist; and then 5, if you are a yes person. So if this is you, then you are probably struggling with time management. All right? So hopefully you found some value in this. Please share this with other bosses that are struggling with time management as well. And like the button below. Don't forget to subscribe so you get notifications on when other videos come out. And go out and be that boss that your employees want to work for. All right? Until next time, bye.